Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Hey, all you Texas Podcast Massacre listeners and unsuspecting victims. This week, we got into the Thanksgiving spirit a little bit early, and by spirit, I mean spirits. So this episode went a little bit off the rails, but we hope it makes your Thanksgiving with your family a little bit more bearable. And now, enjoy the drunken and fun show.
This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is my ice cream truck driving partner, Nate.
Now that's what I call brain freeze. God, this fucking movie.
So
it's already happening.
We
I
are
just want to say off the bat.
We are also joined too by our special guest, unsuspecting victim, and new
resident ornithologist,
yes.
which Mitch can't say because he can't say it.
Well, I'm trying to say she's our newest team member. Like, she's in the official, like in the she's in the credits. She's no longer guest starring, but I haven't come up with a clever name. We've been drinking a lot. So, but welcome back, Taylor.
Hey, Rocketeers.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, God.
Did everyone bring their rocket with them? I have my antenna.
If you don't have one, steal someone else's bike.
Yeah,
with a rocket.
This is the thing. So when we usually do the opening, we're all drunk. So let's just get out of the open.
Well, but sorry. We are drunk because this week's movie of the week is Ice Cream Man. Go on, Nate.
Yeah, Ice Cream Man precipitates drinking. That's just generally. But this movie is nowhere to be found. You can't find it. We found it in the depths of the internet.
We had to go.
No one will understand the quotes we're using because no one will watch it. Yeah. But this episode is great to listen to. Yeah. Just like Ice Cream Van music.
We are fantastic. We
listeners.
actually got unfriended going on the dark web to find this movie, but we found it for your benefit.
Mitch is on watch lists now. Like, there's a watch list for like child predators that Mitch is now on.
I really am not comfortable with you saying
Mitch is taking one for the team for this podcast, and we appreciate it.
Jesus. Knew I should not have given you my login and password. Yeah, well, that's on me.
That's your fault.
That is on me.
That's your fault. You're also getting a lot of magazines. Just heads up. It's happening, and they're not going to be pretty. I'm just going to say that right now.
Oh, my God. All right, well, welcome.
Ice Cream Girl Weekly. Just get ready for that.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and we debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who is someone we would not call a horror movie fan. It is just us three. Lisa is not able to make us. She had got a bit of a brain freeze, if you will.
Yeah, that's fair.
Specifically from watching this movie. So she is not going to be joining us. But the rest of us are going to have some fudgesicles and review the seminal Ice Cream Man.
Yeah. Seminal is a strange word to use. So our unsuspecting victim is Taylor in this episode. So how do you this is just the random question for all the previous listeners of the episode. She was on our 2 bird-related episodes recently. Birds versus ice cream. What do you got, Taylor?
Well, she was on Birds, and she also joined us for Halloween.
Sure.
So this is not her first. This is her second non-bird-related.
Birds versus Halloween versus ice cream.
My first film was Zombievers.
What do you?
I'm not only about birds.
All right, fine. What do you like better, beavers?
Okay,
birds,
Nate,
Halloween, or ice cream?
If anyone knows anything about me as a person, I love Zombievers before anything else.
Zombievers beat everything.
Does she have to have the talk with you about the birds and the Zombievers?
The birds and the zombies. No, there's zombies in that movie. Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah. Zombievers are at the forefront.
Okay. All right.
I love the birds films. I will say, if you are listening, I love bad horror films, and Ice Cream Man gave me everything I was looking for. It was hilarious. The dialogue was room-esque. Gosh, it was just a delight to watch. I laughed the whole time. There were many times I was shocked. There was no plot to be seen. I enjoyed it. So that's my upfront review.
Yeah.
I'll give you more details throughout the podcast.
Yeah, this is definitely. I do not know anyone that has seen this movie up front. I asked a few people.
I do not know.
I do not know.
Oh God.
We'll get into that.
No
in a second.
one will see this
before we get into this. Because for every terrible movie,
we do drinking.
We have decided that we are going to drink beforehand. So if you are, it's Monday when we're releasing
what's
these now.
What's the word for afterhand? So beforehand and afterhand, we're going to drink on this.
What do you mean? What's the word before? Gee, we're
just drinking, Nate.
It's just drinking. All right, so this is going to get shitty. Everybody! Now we did wisen up. The Crown Royal Maple is no longer around, which is why you don't hear all of us like crying for dear life and just gasping for air. Now we've moved to Crown Royal Vanilla. Still the same shitty bourbon, but with a nice vanilla aftertaste. It goes down smooth. Crown Royal Vanilla.
Smooth is relative.
We will take that sponsorship money whenever you want to send it to us.
Yep.
With that said, I think we'll go ahead and get into this week's debate question.
We will see how the Lord favors you.
No, you dare not blaspheme. He will punish you. The jaws of hell will devour you. All of you. No.
Now, to let you folks know kind of a little bit behind the scenes, how the ice cream is made. Sometimes, most of our debate questions typically come from just casual conversation as soon as we've all seen the movie. They're not planned necessarily, but, it usually comes from someone just kind of making a comment. This episode, I'm totally springing this on you both. So there's been no lead in, but I'm curious. An ice cream truck is a relatively clever way to carry bodies around and store and all that. It keeps them on ice.
Functional murdering.
Keeps it on ice. And I can't help but think there are plenty of other food truck options out there. So my question is, if you are going to have a portable killing vehicle, what's your vehicle du jour?
I'm going straight up. Here.
Get it, Nate.
You want a Korean barbecue?
God damn it!
Did I steal yours?
A little bit. It's fine.
Yes.
I'll figure. I've got options.
Think about Korean barbecue.
Are you going fusion?
No. I'm going straight up Korean barbecue because people are like, "Oh, Korean barbecue. What does that mean?" It's like kimchi. There's other stuff. They don't know what it smells like. Could be bodies.
Instead of French fries, are they fingers? Like kimchi fingers?
Exactly.
I like it.
Meat fingers. Oh, God.
Is there a banh mi? Is there a banh mi option for you?
If you think about this, if you sold fermented meat fingers, they'd be like, oh, that's Korean, right? Like that's okay. If it was like an American or like a taco truck, they'd be like, what the fuck is fermented meat fingers?
Yeah, but
if it was Korean, you could get away with it. So, and there's a lot of Korean movies where people get murdered all over the place. So I think this is pretty on brand.
I like that it's just Korean movies where people get murdered everywhere.
Korean movies are murder.
I think most countries have murder movies.
Yeah, Korea is like a high percentage.
It's more revenge based. I feel like
you know what? It doesn't matter what it is. Revenge, monster movie, whatever.
Revenge is a dish best served with kimchi. Is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly. And I will sell it to you. And that is how it goes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, for me, the ice cream truck is so perfect, right? I really like it. I was going to go with a Korean fusion, so I like the little Tex-Mex option, but I'll change it up. We have a food bus here in Houston that does
Bernie's?
The waffle bus.
Yeah.
And they do sliders. They call them friters. I mean, anything with chicken, I think, would be great. Anything with a fryer, effectively. I also think that maybe if you do it seasonally, so like if your food truck's only around for Halloween, it's a lot easier to be like, how about some eyeball stew, right? It's a lot easier to sell creepier items, and people are like, oh, this funny gimmick. And then you're not even having to hide.
You're a seasonal food truck.
Right, and you're not even really having to hide the fact. You can be a little lazy about it.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what you're doing.
Yes. That's where I would go with it.
Wow.
Taylor, what would you do? What's your?
So Mitch stole mine because there's a great scene in this film involving a waffle iron. I won't spoil it, but it's a great scene. If you're looking for something else, I think in general, just an ice cream food truck, maybe more gourmet than what they're pitching in the movie, without the rubber bars on the window would maybe help.
What is a gourmet ice cream food truck? What? Explain this. Explain what this.
I think if he had
Haagen-Dazs, is that like a Haagen-Dazs?
It's a gelato.
Is it gelato?
I think if he marketed that it's local.
It's only grass. The milk only comes from grass-fed,
locally sourced fat from children, which makes our ice cream.
May or may not be children. Well, I don't know if that's a spoiler.
Locally sourced cream.
No,
locally sourced.
It sounds terrible. It sounds terrible.
I think if it's locally sourced ice cream, he's got toppings. He's got different types of cones that he advertised in the film. I think if you did that right at different, I would say most food trucks I've seen have been at like different music festivals, different events.
Yeah, I
you
feel
can
like
make it work.
I feel like you could straight up sell a full human leg to someone at Bonnaroo.
Yeah, if you just were like,
I bought turkey legs at Bonnaroo. I bought turkey legs at Bonnaroo.
You could basically be eating off a full human leg. Nothing done.
This lightning round to win the debate. What is the name of your food truck, Taylor? What's the name of your food truck? Oh, what is the name?
No. God, you put me on the spot so
I put
fast.
you on the spot hard.
Did anyone catch the number of the bus that just floored right over you?
Food bus that hit you?
Yeah.
I know what the license plate was, but I don't think that's the right name.
Abu.
It was Abu. But I feel the name should be something more like Ice Cream You Scream. Something, I don't know, something more, not even that, but just like something playing off the word ice cream, but I cannot think of it right now. Thank you, Nate, for doing this to me.
You're welcome.
Why did you ask this question?
Who knows?
Why did you do this?
Why do you do these things to yourself and your friends?
All right, so mine's Korean. So I'm gonna go Kim Children.
I need to walk off like Oscar music where they just like just walking you off the stage.
They're playing me off with Kim Children. That is what you're saying.
No.
Is this a spoiler? If I spoil, no children were harmed.
Mine is Chan Wook Park.
No.
Mine is Chan Wook Park guy, because it's a Korean. It's a Korean director with Park guy from this movie. So I'm gonna go with that. No one can see on the podcast. Everyone is dying. Taylor is face palming, and Mitch can't speak. So there's that. Your vocal cords temporarily stop.
They
temporarily
no one can speak. Your food truck is so great.
I just can't. Oh Christ! I'm just gonna go ahead and apologize for everyone. This is gonna be a rough one. I really hope that you have watched this movie.
You are joining no one can watch this. Where did you watch it?
We
barely watched it.
I
look
very strongly endorse. Do not watch Birdemic. I strongly endorse. Do watch Ice Cream Man.
Yeah. Look, if you need this movie, get on the dark web.
By hook or by crook.
Look for Nate. His tag is iHeartHuckabees, and you can get this movie from him.
Actually, that movie's overrated.
That's why it's funny that that would be your dark.
Yeah,
I can't explain these jokes to you, Nate.
Mine's like, why does the dog die? That's
Nate's like, please tell me all the dog murder films here.
The winner of the debate is not the listeners. That's for sure. That's for sure. So let's get to our next segment.
If you have a food truck or idea for how you would dispose of these victims, please
we
let us.
We want a food truck sponsor before we go to the next segment. Can we get one? Preferably a South Korean, not North Korean. I don't know why a North Korean food truck would ever be sponsoring us.
If you have a good suggestion, let us know at TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, at Texas Podcast Massacre on Instagram and Facebook. You can also let us know on the show comments. You can comment on the page on our website at TexasPodcastMassacre.com.
And if you want to email us at TexasPodcastMassacre@gmail.com. Thanks for emails.
Yes.
The emails are, I say half positive, half you didn't understand what Mandy was. And
you've got to let that one go now.
They cut my metaphors. Like I said, they cut metaphors. So think about that.
I enjoyed that they called you out. So if you want to call Nate out more and make me laugh, definitely do so.
Hashtag Lisa.
Jesus. All right. With that said, we're going to get into this week's movie of the week before Taylor faints on us. This one is called Ice Cream Man.
It was a city just like any other, with kids just like anywhere.
Anybody for ice cream?
But when a brand new ice cream man comes to town,
just for you.
That new ice cream dude's pretty freaky.
there goes the neighborhood.
Who's there?
Happy day, Nurse Wharton.
There's something weird going on here.
I'm fixing up a little party for you.
Dogs start disappearing.
Hello, puppy.
Children lose their way.
Oh, he's so kind to the little children.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
And a man of mystery
Here you go.
Wow.
conjures up his own brand of mischief.
You can't run from the ice cream man.
What do we do?
When your parents don't believe you.
But Dad.
I said go to your room.
When the police can't help you.
Emergency. Repeat, emergency.
Kids can do anything.
You two are playing cops and robbers.
If you just believe in friendship,
We're doing this. The three of us.
you'll always find your courage. Any way you slice it,
Hey, honey.
they may look pint-sized,
He's out there.
but adventure doesn't get any bigger.
This is gonna be fun.
The Ice Cream Man.
The Ice Cream Man. That is quite possibly simultaneously the best and worst trailer I've ever heard in my life.
One of those is correct.
All right, so Taylor,
As
our,
the unsuspecting victim.
as our unsuspecting victim, if you had to describe, you're gonna have to describe this movie to someone, probably a psychiatrist. At this
not
rate.
your coworkers, not your friend.
You're not gonna tell.
I saw this movie, Mr. Ms. Psychologist.
Yeah, when
Ms.
you talk
Psychologist.
to police, you're to keep our name out of your mouth. But anyone else you talk
and
to,
the psychologist goes, keep it to 30 seconds. And so you just
as soon as I say
The psychiatrist's
voluntarily,
gonna
they'll check out.
they're gonna check out that timer and be like, we still got a few minutes left.
Little known fact, psychologists have an Ice Cream Man checkbox on all their forms.
Yes.
And if you mention Ice Cream Man, they check that box, and that is not good for you.
No,
so
it's
heads up.
So Taylor, how would you describe this film? Can you describe this film?
Yeah, is it it's possible.
Okay, so I would say it is like a little bit of The Room combined with I think it might be actually better dialogue.
Better than The Room.
It progresses the
Wow.
plot slightly. I would say very, very moderately slightly better than The Room, only because it has Clint Howard's not as strong as Tommy Wiseau as a lead role. So I would say it's
That's a bold claim.
but he is wonderful to watch. There's a lot to love here in terms of if you're in for a bad movie. It is definitely not good. I would never recommend this as a good movie, but if you are ready to laugh a lot at something that is pretty bad, Ice Cream Man is for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ice Cream Man is the story of an ice cream man.
Oh, thanks for that, man.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that
Who
one.
is
Wow.
who is mentally disturbed and is murdering people and children. It's up to some children, some plucky young children.
How many syringes of green fluid did he have in his head to make him deranged? Is it at least 5
It's a lot.
or more?
It's a lot.
I was assumed more. Dozens.
Look,
He lived at the asylum as a child. He maybe got injected every day. Who knows? It's impossible to tell from the backstory.
Because I'm
limited.
Happy. Right?
What's a bad day versus a good day? That's the determining factor.
Well, before we get into the facts, it is time.
Unleash the Kraken.
All right. So, Nate, what can you tell us about The Ice Cream Man?
I can't. No, I can't. This movie was released in 1995. It was a tight 84 minutes. Felt longer. 4.9 IMDb, which seems pretty high somehow. The tagline for this movie is one of the top 5 taglines of all time.
Yeah.
I'm calling it. There's an unofficial tally, but the tagline is, I scream, you scream, we all scream for the ... Yes! That's really good. The director was Paul Newman. Now, Paul Newman has directed 125 films. This movie came out in 1995, and this was his first mainstream major motion. No, major is a jump. Semi-major motion picture.
Wait, you said Paul Newman?
Did he direct
like the
Monsters,
salad
Inc.?
dressing guy?
Paul Norman.
Norman.
Cool Hand Luke, Ice Cream Man. You
Big
know how it
difference.
goes. Paul Norman.
I was worried Paul Newman's got some of this green syringe in his head.
Paul Newman's dementia hit real early, and then he went Ice Cream Man. No, Paul Norman. I'm just gonna go 1995 in his discography. Are you ready for this?
Okay. I'm not ready, but
his first movie of 1995 was Young and Anal 2. His second movie was Wicked at Heart. Third movie, The Naked Truth. Sensual Spirits. Sapphire.
Wait, so is that one just ghost fucking then?
Reflections. Rebel Cheerleaders. Out of Love. Ice Cream Man. Generation X. Fire and Ice. Caught in the Act. Crybabies 1. Anal Scream.
Anal Scream? Sounds like a black metal album, like a bad one.
Cloud 900. Bitches in Heat Part 1. Locked in the Basement. Bimbo Boys. Bedlam. Bad Girls 6. Riding into Town. There's no G in that. Riding into Town. And Bad Girls 5, Maximum Babes, American Pie, and A Lady.
Wait, American Pie?
Not that American. Not that American Pie. 1995's American Pie.
Oh, okay.
That was just 1995. That was 1 year.
Hey,
this guy's doing 100 films per year.
Keeping busy. Let me ask you, Nate.
His most recent film.
His most recent film is Sperm Bitches.
Sperm Bitches.
A 2001 straight-to-video movie. Before that was Hungry Holes, the year 2000. Chinatown Part 2, 1997.
Wait. I got to ask, hold on.
Yeah.
Because you just said Chinatown, I want to make sure I heard you right. Was it Hungry or Hungary?
Hungry. We did some Palinka shots from Hungary before, not related.
Let me ask you, Nate. Now that you've seen Ice Cream Man, and without getting into details, are you interested at all in any of these films? / have you seen any of these films, and how do they stack up?
I want to honestly say none of these, and that is a triumph for me.
I am interested.
That is a personal triumph for myself, and my self-esteem has never been higher.
My assumption is that it is straight porn, but my hope, hope is that hold on.
Cry Baby 1 Anal Scream is not porn? Holy cow. What are you talking about?
My hope is that the one about the ghost fucking.
First of all, who's directing this? What is the directing mean?
Paul Newman is directing it.
Norman. Paul Norman. Don't be bringing Paul Newman into this. Paul Norman.
I bet Paul Newman would make it classy as fuck.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Put ranch dressing on her back.
Get some of that Thousand Island.
No one wants that. So I'm going to go through this and say the main actor in this is Clint Howard.
the actor in this is Clint Howard.
He was Rala Keeley in Solo.
Yeah.
Okay. He was in Solo and this. He was in the Funhouse Massacre in 1950. Hell Camino. which is one of the best movie names of all time.
Who is he in Solo? I'm sorry. Who is he in Solo?
He was Rala Keeley.
I'm trying to pin down his most recent acting.
Yeah, he was Rala Keeley.
Achievement.
Achievement is in double quotes. He was in 2014's Balls Out. He was in 2013's The Big Bad Wolf. He was in a bit part in Lords of Salem, which is in our 31 Days of Halloween, which you should definitely check out. He was in Connect Star Wars, which is a travesty. And he was in Blubberella in 2011 and others. I stopped at that. Once Blubberella came on my list,
he's in The Waterboy. He's one of the fans in the bleachers.
Sure.
He's in My Name is Earl. He's creepy Rodney.
Yeah, no, he's in a lot of things. He was in Twilight Zone as a baby, if I remember correctly.
He's in the remake of Halloween, like Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah, no one cares about that. So, including this year's Halloween, no one cares about that.
Fair. Yeah. So that's. I mean, there was one other actress that you were lamenting that her fall from grace.
Yeah, Olivia Hussey was in this movie of Romeo and Juliet fame and Black Christmas fame, and she decided that I need checks more than I need acting integrity, and she was in this movie, and she acted it in a very actor-y way, I would say, more than Clint Howard did for sure. But sometimes people have mortgages, and so. And sometimes they have child payments, and you just got to do movies. And she did Ice Cream Man, so I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. It's like when you're.
I think it's important to understand.
That is how I feel.
I just think it's important to understand though that in the same year that he was Gregory Tudor, the Ice Cream Man and Ice Cream Man, he was also in Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Important to just understand that his agent either was just like, just give him something. It doesn't matter. We'll take it. We'll take any role you send.
Getting them checks.
Yeah. He's been in like 200, almost 250 movies. So yeah, he's crushing it.
He was in Austin Powers. I remember that very distinctly.
So overall thoughts. I will say from my perspective, this movie was surprisingly enjoyable. When you had told us about this one, Nate, I was dreading the worst. I was fearing another birdemic was on our hands, but worse. This was actually enjoyable. It had some great lines, some great scenes. It is exactly what you're looking for in a shitty movie. They take themselves seriously. And that's part of what makes it so funny. Like it's clearly not meant to be a joke. Someone thought this is a great screenplay.
Yeah. They got the guy from Cry One Anal Scream to do it. So clearly they were very invested. No, this movie was the worst.
Well, look, they thought it was good. They just didn't have the budget for it. I've got $20. Who can I get to do this film? That is how this came out.
Well, Clint Howard can ride on Ron Howard's money. So
sure. So
Apollo 13. Who was that directed by? You're welcome.
So Taylor, what were your overall thoughts?
So I loved Clint Howard.
You loved him?
I loved him. So my previous experience before
Clint Howard is going to be DMing
Clint
you
Howard
after
in
this.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
As the serial killer in LA.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil Seinfeld for you if you haven't seen it,
but it's 20 years ago.
Worth
you're
it.
Okay. You're okay.
I love Seinfeld. So my previous experience with him was him in that. I thought he did his part very well in this film, which was not much of a part. Let's be honest. Not much of a part.
Did he have man hands in this?
He wasn't supposed to have man hands.
He was a man, but he didn't even have man hands.
That wasn't his part in Seinfeld either, Nate. Let's be honest. He was a serial killer in Seinfeld. He was a serial killer in Ice Cream Man. They gave him a little bit of heart. I empathized with him a little bit. I will say there were some creepy parts actually involving him, despite all the other comedic parts involving him.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Well, Nate, what did you think?
There's a lot to unpack here.
What I think is, I have a question for you.
All right.
That's what I think. How many days was the first draft of this script written in?
I'll give it 3. I'll give it over a weekend.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think, Taylor? This
I'll
is
say 4. I'll give it a little bit more
this is
credit.
for-
than
Did you just
Mitch.
Price is Right me?
This is for a shot.
Did you
Yes,
just
this
Price
is
is Right me?
100% Price
This
is
is
Right
for
you.
a shot. I just want to let everyone know on the screen this. All right. So you said this movie was written in 3 days, and you said in 4 days.
I said 4.
The movie, the first draft, was written in exactly 3 days. Oh,
This felt like a
Mitch.
weekender.
It was a long. It was a long weekend. And the long weekend was cocaine.
It was Memorial Day weekend.
Friday was cocaine day, and then Saturday, Sunday. That
I
was
gave
it.
this movie so much credit that it was not due.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
The
I love this
filmmakers
film.
in this originally were going for a PG-13 rating, and that did not happen.
Not achieved.
once the boy was dragged into the ice cream truck, it ended. We got ice cream, eponymous Ice Cream Man. He has no name. He third persons himself as Ice Cream Man. There's no name for this guy.
He had a reason for it. We empathize with him by the end, right? Because he had
I
the...
never-
No, his name's Gregory Tudor.
Yeah, but
He's a tutor.
But we never empathize with him because
you can see him on the tutor.
The first 30 seconds of the movie is an Ice Cream Man getting gunned down, Tommy gun
That's
style.
the king, not the one we watched for
The first 20 seconds of the movie is an Ice Cream Man getting gunned down by the mob.
previous
That's
Ice Cream
the
Man.
first 20 seconds of the movie.
This is what it sounds
Oh,
like.
we watched for the
This is what
majority
it sounds like
now.
when you've lost institutional order. All right, so yes, before we get into the characters, we'll bring them up as they come up. So this movie starts off black and white with an Ice Cream Man getting gunned down in a drug.
Black and white
All we
film.
know is that it's a drug related accident. They don't tell you anything else about this. It is just the first thing you see.
You get caffeine?
No, you only see it.
Too much coffee.
You
in
only
his,
find
in
out
his ice cream.
Maybe if you order the pistachios, wink wink, with your ice cream, you get a hit of cocaine or something.
Wait. That's what Lil Wayne has on his eyes. It's pistachio. It's not tears. It's actually pistachio.
Pistachios.
It's pistachio.
When you ask for
God
when you
damn it.
ask for sprinkles, it's marijuana. When you ask for gummy
a hard pack, it's a penis.
if you want gummy bears,
it's fine.
It is gummy bears, but
Lisa,
it's,
Lisa is not here. Okay, she watched the movie with us, and she had a lot of reactions. Mitch and I are talking. Taylor might be dead over on this side. We don't know.
No.
We have pushed away all female people on this podcast. I just want to let everyone know that right now. The pistachio nuts was the last straw. No one is available anymore. It might just be you and I. I don't even know anymore.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
So this kid, look, I just want to set the scene for this movie. This Ice Cream Man is gunned down. Mobster style.
Yeah, of course.
This little kid walks up, takes the ice cream cone out of his hand.
Al Capone.
I had to keep pressing for it. Takes the ice cream cone out of his hand, sits down, and his mom asks, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "Who's gonna deliver the ice cream, mommy?"
Nobody. But in the insane asylum, you have plenty of green slime injected into your brain.
It looks like
so that's fine.
It
No
looks
worries.
like he must have gotten hit by
Al Capone. Who could?
Al Capone.
God damn it! All right, so
yikes!
All right, so I guess he gets like hit by a stray bullet in the head, and that's why he has to go to the insane asylum. We don't know. You never find out.
He's a child.
He's a child. He
They
has
show
blood on
his
him.
backstory, guys.
It's from the splash. Yeah,
No.
he's splashed on.
So the king is shot.
Yeah.
The kid is already in the insane asylum.
Hail
He keeps
to the
getting
king, baby.
routine lobotomies. Which
Yeah,
I don't know how
a
that
lot of
works,
lobotomies.
to be perfectly
Well,
honest. I don't know how
they
that
were
works.
shock therapy lobotomies.
Is it lobotomies or lobotomies?
Shock therapy lobotomies.
He
Who
got,
knows?
look, for you horror fans out there, basically it's like, hey, it's like Reanimator, but they're lobotomies, sure.
Reanimator with ice cream.
Yeah.
But
Like, did you want that?
the Ice Cream Man was maybe a victim. Depends how you interpret the film.
Will he melt in your mouth, not in your hand? That is the crucial. That's the crucial question. Will the eyeball melt in your mouth and also not in your hand?
The eyeball is chewy. There's
So-
other questions to be answered in that
So
statement.
let's move to present day.
Okay.
We are introduced to a poor man's version of the Stranger Things kids. They're called the Rocketeers.
Macaulay Culkin's body double is doing great work in this.
Small
he is
Paul.
doing very well.
He is Small Paul or the poor man's Macaulay Culkin. Yeah,
and he is doing great work.
there is Big Tuna.
Big Tuna he's got a pillow he's got a small pillow in his shirt.
He's either referred to as Big Tuna or just
He's
Tuna.
not that fat.
It's not his fault.
Random
He had a
girl
pillow.
and other boy.
Was it?
It's basically the other
What
character.
is the protective measure? What is the protective measure
hero.
against stabbing? Was he preemptively blocking stabs with that pillow in his shirt?
Yeah, so Tuna,
That was so
he
obvious.
was ready.
He was rocking a pillow.
I love that, right? You know, they didn't cast a fat kid. They were like, no, we need to make sure this kid can act. So let's get a good acting kid and make him wear a pillow and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because then at the end, I mean, we're jumping way ahead on this part, but at the end, he loses the weight, i.e., he gets the pillow out of his shirt.
Does he?
Yeah.
He does, yes.
Because they give him the stomach pat.
Think about this, though. The Ice Cream Man is fattening these kids up, and even after in the 1950s, black and white, whatever, the guy gets gunned down by the mob, and the kid eats the ice cream that was in his hand. He's like, free ice cream. It's got a little bit of blood on it, but it's free, so I'm in on this.
Tuna was the only kid clued in.
Tuna. Oh, Tuna.
Was clued in
Tuna was one of the
happening.
better kids. Do we call him Big Tuna or just Tuna?
No,
what is this person's name? Tuna?
Tuna.
There's other kids. Do we have any other kids who we're talking about here? So there's Woods Kid.
There's the four
only one
kids.
clued
There's
in.
Woods Kid.
Tuna. Okay, Woods Kid stays in hiding until the end, and Tuna knows about what happens to Small Paul.
Small Paul is the name of a character. And in our subtitles, Small was small case and Paul was uppercase. So, Small Paul, not even a rapper name. He was just Small Paul.
Let's talk about the ice cream truck and the state it's in. There are several scenes early on.
A lot of cockroaches.
A lot of cockroaches. There's rats on
human eyeballs.
On body parts. Yeah, there's a eyeball scene where he literally puts in an eyeball on Rocky Road.
He's keeping it on ice.
And they show someone eating the a cop eating the ice cream with the eyeball in his mouth. Never notices.
Oh, the cop is
the iris facing outwards.
Oh yeah.
Outward iris.
Yeah.
And the guy's like licking the iris a lot, and it's like the consistency of ice cream and irises seems to be different. Figure your shit out when you're in your mouth. Like in your mouth, like have a higher mouth awareness.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Normally, it's like, oh, the cops are stupid.
He kept chewing on it.
People
so
are
I feel
so
like
dumb.
Know.
They're running upstairs. They should be running downstairs. My thing is, have better mouth feel. Like that. Like it's such a like a.
Now, let me ask you.
It's a nuanced take, but you should definitely have better mouth feel.
How big do you think this town is?
This town is 5,000 people maximum.
Small.
It's very small. It's so small that Jan Michael Vincent. Calling all Jan Michael Vincents to Quadrant 7.
They only need 2 Jan Michael Vincents in this movie.
Only be 7 Jan Michael Vincents to 1 precinct.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Jan Michael Vincent. Calling all Jan Michael Vincents to Ice Cream Town, whatever the fuck this place is called. Jan Michael Vincent's the main guy. He is worthless. And then his sidekick is crossover Billy on the Street meets Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
I mean, these cops are the worst. There may be worse. So your last movie, Taylor, was Halloween. Cops in Halloween versus cops in Ice Cream Man. What do you got? What do you got? Yeah. It's a tough
There's
call.
such different levels of incompetence.
Tough call, though.
was much lower, to be honest, in Ice Cream Man versus Halloween. The cops in Halloween were way worse considering the threat level, but the cops in Ice Cream Man were so bad. The dialogue was so bad.
The dialogue
At least
was
in Halloween, they had
room-ass.
some respectable dialogue, but they were both very
But the
very
cops-
bad considering the threat
but
levels of each.
The cops
Each villain.
trashed the Ice Cream Man's place. Does that
Okay.
give them a bump up or a bump down?
No, I don't think so. That was a weird play for empathy with the ice cream man.
Yeah. Like you're like, look, this guy is getting Michael Brown. Why? Like this is awful.
Okay, full disclosure, we took a shot at the end of that scene. So because of the Ice Cream Man King Shrine, if you watch this film, you'll know what we're talking about.
The Ice Cream King.
The Ice Cream
Dude,
King.
no one will watch this. So I'll explain it. The Ice Cream King was the guy gunned down at the beginning of the 1950s Al Capone murder scene.
Al Capone
He has a shrine.
Is the word you're looking
his
for.
shrine. All
Al
right, so
Capone.
imagine this. Imagine this shrine. I'm going to explain how sad this is. There's a shrine of. So imagine a picture of a person you love in the middle. And the top left, there is a red party hat, like a cone popping out. On the right side, there is also a cone popping out. On the middle left, there is a cone that has fallen down. That's on string that is still there. On the right side, there's no other cones on the right side with string that is there. And there's like the light that is like the saddest light ever. It's like a 3-watt bulb that's almost dead, but it's not quite, and they still have it in there. That is the lighting situation. It is the saddest thing I've almost ever seen on film. This is like Schindler's List is lower. And then this movie's above that slightly. When I'm
dead, I want someone to miss me like this guy misses the ice cream king.
You want you to miss a party hat falling down's full?
No, but
that's what you want.
Not even just that. He goes to his grave and brings him ice cream cones and literally sticks them in the ground.
For his other graves, yeah.
Yeah, for his other friends. He's like, oh, I didn't know how many to bring for your other friends. Like, yeah, he's weirdly sympathetic. It's a weird move.
The dog. Does the dog die?
Of course he does. Is this a movie that you want to watch? Yes.
So the dog does die. And
Zero kids die. Zero kids die.
That is crucial.
So Lisa's happy about that.
Crucial.
This dog not only gets died, you see him get ground up.
Yeah, in the grinder. Apostle style.
It's most likely meatloaf. Let's be honest. Meatloaf.
Dog loaf.
It's a
meatloaf.
Dog.
It's a denser loaf.
He was baked. It was sad. But no kids died. After the dog died, I was like, every kid in this movie's going to die. No kids died. So
it was cheap.
There was a little bit of balancing, but not a lot.
Now, so Taylor, we know that the dog dying was Nate's favorite part of this movie. What?
That's false.
What? Okay, we have episodes of evidence to say the contrary. Taylor, of all the deaths in this movie, which one stuck out to you?
So there weren't any deaths that stood out to me. I felt like a lot of them were very predictable.
What through the under?
I would say. Okay,
face.
so for
underface, is that a thing?
I don't know.
Wait your turn, my man.
Hold on. So I thought there were two kids that were either going to die or very much on the verge of dying. That were Paul Wall.
Small Paul Wall.
There was this.
We are from Houston.
The movie commentary where we watched this got a lot of Paul Wall
and Tuna, and I thought that either one of them was bound to die at any moment, to be perfectly honest. And well, so this is a spoiler. Neither of them died, but I thought that they were both very well played, and I thought that every moment they were in it was actually more tense than the others because they actually had more character development. They felt more real, like something was maybe going to happen.
Now, what did you think of their hiding skills?
Tuna was bad at hiding.
Tuna's like,
had a little bit.
I'm gonna hide behind like a 3-speed bike. Like this is not.
Small Tuna tried though. I will say, Small Tuna tried.
So this group of kids. So this is the losers group. This is kind of like It, right, Mitch?
Yeah,
I would say this is the It group.
Yeah,
Losers Club, and they have their own berets and Cobra Kai.
They're the Rocketeers.
They have their own Cobra Kai kind of rocket. Well, Cobra Kai is more evil. Rocketeer is better.
If they had showed these kids getting bullied, I would have been on the side of the bullies in this movie.
Oh shit!
These kids, they have like 8-foot tall antennas.
Mitch is like,
wearing.
you know what? The ice cream murderer had some great points. He had some
I will say it was very
philosophical
clear.
Great points.
Look,
it was very clear what
time period this film was supposed to be
the 80s
set
or the
in.
90s? It was Stranger Things or what? Like, what was happening?
I'm a pretty big Francophile as it is, but I can't sign off for berets. No one has ever been like, ooh la la beret. No one has ever.
That
in
kid
their
was
life.
wearing a beret and he got drive-by kidnapped.
Okay,
Like, off his bike into an ice cream truck.
But
How
Nate,
is
did
that
he
possible?
die?
Well, Nate, because he was wearing a pillow.
He did
and you
not
can grab by
die.
the pillow. And
He
pull
was
him.
saved by the pillow, which is a classic
Maybe.
Mark Paul Gosselaar TV show. Saved by the Pillow.
Well, let me
And it's
ask y'all,
great.
what did y'all think? Okay, so one of the parents, I think it's Tuna's dad has a side piece.
The tuna.
The tuna
side piece.
So there's little tuna and big tuna. We'll call his dad Big Tuna.
Okay.
Big
Sure.
Tuna has a side piece, who is a side piece for practically everyone in the town. The way it's shown.
She
Great
is,
tuna and
she is an
banana
independent woman who can do whatever the
No.
fuck she wants,
Shut up,
Mitch.
Nate.
I'm not shaming
Independent
it.
woman.
I'm just saying.
Independent.
Anyway,
No.
she she apparently owns a Black Shadow 2
All-
with the signage crooked.
All the single ladies, put your hands up. She put her hand up in this movie. She literally put her hand up in this movie. Literally.
So he's cheating with this woman.
Clearly.
The ice cream man ends up murdering him. First with a waffle iron to the face, which came out of nowhere.
That's a protuberance.
Hence my previous answer, but change due to Nate's answer.
Yes.
Or Mitch's answer.
That's my
about
answer.
Waffle iron.
I ruined it for you. And then he shows up in the house with the dad's Big Tuna's head on an ice cream cone.
Okay.
That was awesome.
This scene is
one of the better film.
Yeah.
One of the better scenes in the film.
Where
to be
is the
perfectly
waffle
honest.
cone that can fit a human adult's face?
Yeah.
Where is this cone? Wait, there's like, okay. Oh, we're going to bring out Big Bertha. Like that's the name of the cone. That's bringing out the human face. Yeah. And there were toppings on top.
Yep.
There were toppings on top of the face. Mitch's hands are in his head because of how ridiculous this was.
And
it
let's be
was
clear,
insane.
It was the man who was cheating.
It was
There were multiple
insane.
scenes with both the original wife and the woman he was cheating with in the grocery store where either one was unrecognizable and fat.
Look. You know how a child is stalked in a grocery store and no one knows. Wait, never. That's never happened. How does a kid get stalked in an entire grocery store and then end up in the freezer from Rocky with all of the meat in there? Someone's punching the meat and goes, "Oh shit! There's a kid behind this meat I'm punching."
Anyway,
What?
I won't hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I have a cleaver and I won't hurt you. That's how garbage this movie is.
Yeah,
But
Tuna's got to
Tuna
work on
may or
his survival
may not
skills.
have known about. He
Yeah.
knew about the family drama between his father and his mother.
It's very Saw-esque.
but probably didn't know about who his father was actually dating on the side.
I
And
thought
that
I
was
told you. Nope. Yeah. Well, mistress comes around, comes back around.
As you can tell, this movie is all over the place.
And we're all over the place too. So
We are too.
matching the
But
movie stride for stride.
But I really just want to. I really want to stress to the listeners who are not going to watch this movie. Just listen. That are not going to watch this movie. That this movie is like these things happen very suddenly. There's no ramp up. There's no like Chekhov's gun, if you would, or Chekhov's cone, if you will.
There's a Chekhov's nut slicer. That is the movie.
Vaguely. But you don't know what's going to happen.
There's
with
like
the nut
there's
chopper.
like there's like
know.
one chick that's like investigative reporting. Small Paul Wall, Macaulay Culkin off-brand douchebag is doing shit. There's all kinds of shit. It's insane.
Now
it's insane.
Now let me ask y'all this, because this movie does have one big tone shift where it actually goes legit creepy. Because up until then, it's just absurd. But when the police go to the Happy Hills or whatever, I can't remember what it. wishing well. The police go there and they're talking to the main psychiatrist, who tells them they don't have any. They only have happy days. They only allow happy days there.
Happy days.
All the
are
flashbacks
happy
with
days.
the Ice Cream Man. You see him getting fed spoonfuls of ice cream. There's a clown inexplicably, and he's getting syringes in the forehead.
Thursday, Friday, happy days. The syringe comes. It's all green.
My God. So
going into
so the
you.
psychiatrist says, "Hey, we need to get going. Arthur's messed it up bad. It's a bad day today." And then you find out that the real psychologist is dead. Our psychiatrist is dead. And that the inmates are running the asylum, and they all jump out, and it is legit terrifying.
Yeah, that was the creepiest part of the whole movie.
Yeah, it was unsettling. It's certainly not uncommon, but it was just out of nowhere.
Yeah,
very big tone shift. I kind of almost wish they had stayed there a little bit more.
This movie sucked, right? Can we agree on that? Movie was garbage
because the police officers.
This part was actually like legitimately creepy.
It was actually
Well,
it's actually a little bit creepy.
And then the police
Everything else
officers,
is laughable, but
the
that was
police
creepy.
officers no sold the shit out of it. There's like, that is fucking weird. And they just walked
Well,
out.
to be honest, the you can say better what the mix was, but
Sure.
this one actor who was very like Billy Ray Cyrus, very
He's Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner.
Imagine Billy Ray Cyrus cross with Billy Eichner.
And he kept
I don't want to.
just
no one does.
He kept fending off asylum people left and right without very much effort at all.
Yeah.
So it made it less terrifying. But
Yeah, they just no sold the shit out of it.
Yeah.
asylum inmates were actually very scary.
Yeah.
They were scary, but like in general, these people were generally zombies, but like nicer.
Kind of. They had
they were all
quote,
lobotomized.
shock lobotomy treatment.
Yeah.
Quote. Like
They
what
were
was
like
it? The cuckoo story. Quote.
Yeah. So, basically they got
It was
reanimated because I don't know. When I think shock therapy, lobotomy, I think Requiem of a Dream. I do not think green Jello pumped into someone's forehead.
What about Strange Brew? Now, the end of the movie is so the Ice Cream Man has kind of a standoff with the police and they leave.
Yeah.
And the Ice Cream Man goes, all right, well, they left, so fuck it. I'm going all out, right? So I would say previously the Ice Cream Man was kind of holding it in.
Yeah.
And keeping it relatively general to murdering park people and random dogs into grinders, which let's say this, does the dog die.com on this? Fuck yes. He dies hard. He dies early. He dies in a grinder. And that goes into ice cream. So yikes. It is rough stuff.
Tell us about Nurse Wharton.
No.
Nurse Wharton.
Did you really?
Yeah, I mean, rough stuff. You're
I
welcome.
hate you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome. Now, the dog deities might come at me, but I feel like I'm okay on that.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
They're going to be barking mad.
No, they won't. No, they won't, Mitch. Because they're dead.
God damn.
All the dogs are dead.
Yeah. All right. So this ending scene, the kids have decided they're taking upon themselves. Oh, well, and we're overshadowing some of the great investigative work. The one girl jumps into the ice cream truck to take photos. When they develop the reel of pictures, not only is it photos of this, but also of one of the brothers like
banging someone.
Yeah. Which I mostly thought hilarious because I love how the printer is right by like the window.
He got murdered.
Like you just walk by, see people with fingers getting developed.
He got murdered.
He also got murdered.
Yeah.
Gruesomely.
What a great technological advancement. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Ice Cream Man has got a way worse chance in current times.
Yeah.
1985, you got to develop film. You can't take cell phone photos. You got kids are all just like douchebags.
But it's not
apparently.
up to the current Ice Cream Man. It's up to Macaulay Culkin knockoff.
Yeah. It's like Macaulay Culkin. Like that's the guy's. Like this guy's like the Folkleys.
Yeah, so Small Paul.
This guy's the worst.
So Small Paul, who had been presumed dead by my co-host at this point in the movie.
He was not dead.
He was not dead. He was actually learning how to make ice cream with the Ice Cream Man.
He actually saved everyone's life.
Well, yeah. So first, before we get to that, there is a scene I want to ask you about. We get to see the Ice Cream Man's ventriloquism skills. Now, very similar to the dad with the head on the ice cream cone. He's got two heads on sticks, and he's manipulating the jaws. Nate, what did you think about this? Because this was very tourist trap.
Think about so this is very tourist trap.
Well, so what did you think about the ventriloquism scene?
The ventriloquism was garbage. It was garbage. It was ridiculous. The ventriloquism scene was Clint Howard doing Clint Howard on a skull that was barely not Clint Howard. It was basically all of that. It was
Are you
nonsense.
just saying you see his mouth moving?
Yeah, but you can see because his mouth was moving. It was absolutely insanity.
Fun fact: Nate takes his ventriloquism seriously.
Yeah, if you're gonna ventriloquism, get your fucking shit right.
That's
okay?
right.
That's
right.
That's all right. Ventriloquism 101. That's ridiculous.
All right, so you alluded to it. The final scene is really Small Paul knocks the Ice Cream Man into his mega mixer. And it kills him.
All right,
the nut chopper.
I want to hear Taylor's synopsis of this entire scene. So they set it up. There's a mixer that murders nuts. Apparently,
it was a chopper of nuts.
Yeah, Paul Wall was kidnapped by him, but not murdered, which is a twist. That was
Small
good.
Paul.
So what is this end scene to you? What is the end scene?
I would say I loved that Small Paul was loyal to his friends who came into the ice cream parlor to try and stop the Ice Cream Man, who is murdering other people in the town, mostly Tuna's parents and Tuna's father's mistress. There's honestly so little plot depth to this film. I would say plot depth is even a strong word. There's not plot to this film.
Depth is a depth word.
There is no plot to this film. But I did love that Tuna got the chance to be a little bit of a hero. Small Paul, we thought was dead for a lot of the movie and was not dead.
Yeah.
And he got the chance to be a hero as well. And Clint Howard had a lot of good lines, but ultimately I liked that the kids triumphed over him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it was crazy.
It was fun to watch.
It was crazy because Clint Howard, as the Ice Cream Man, had no puns. So Mitch was banking. we had a thing before the movie. Mitch was banking on these puns. No puns came until the last
end.
quarter of the movie, and then the puns were flowing everywhere. Mitch, what do you think about these pun flow? Was it was like too much out of the spigot? What are we talking about here?
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was what I've been waiting for the whole movie. There was better restraint than Batman Returns with Mr. Freeze. So,
sure.
Chill. The weather today.
Frozen is a movie that will come out in the next couple of years.
I mean,
so what is your pun that you like then? So there's only a few puns in this.
Well, hold on.
We'll say this for the listeners. Mitch called us a sprinkle pun in the beginning of this, and it never happened.
I was.
That's a shot for you, by the way.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
sprinkle puns.
I called my shot, and I missed.
And you missed it.
That
anti-Babe Ruth here.
No, these puns are great. I wish there were more of them throughout the film because I love puns.
Yeah. The puns were at the very end. Taylor is dying. There were so many puns.
I wish. Here are some. I will just say here are some from Batman or Batman and Robin that I wish.
Okay. So Taylor, you and I will say if these are good puns for this movie.
You're not sending me to the cooler.
Yes, that's
decent.
Good. That's good for this one. Yeah.
Good.
Ice to see you.
Oh, that's terrible. Wow.
No matter what the
a lot of
context.
Guatemalans are hearing that right now, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan
I'm
of
afraid
that.
my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
That's kind of good.
That's like implied on this one, though. That's implied.
It's okay.
Wait, hold on. I'm reading these quotes. This one, a laundry service that delivers. Wow, that's not even a pun. That's
Yeah.
Who added that
That's
to
how
this list?
bad that movie was. Yeah, we get it. We get it. Yeah.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. That's bad.
That's garbage. That's trash.
All right.
That's trash. The Ice Age.
Yeah.
The Ice Age.
Look out! The Ice Age is
Yeah,
coming.
I'm not doing the Arnold voice for these. I was trying to
Look out.
I don't want to flavor the
Do
question.
the Arnold voice. Do the Clint Howard voice.
I don't know that I can do an Arnold voice. I cannot
The
do
Ice Age.
Oh, that was
Come with me if you want to live.
all right.
That's Arnold. That's not Clint Howard.
Here.
Look out!
Give me that one in a Clint Howard.
Yeah, in a Clint Howard.
Hold on.
Tonight, hell freezes over. Cool party.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. That was very good, actually.
Yeah.
Clint Howard does not have the gravitas of an Arnold Schwarzenegger. Shocking in this.
Yeah.
Shocking in
all I'm
this
saying
movie.
Funny as that may be.
All I'm saying is, I really expected to have a debate with y'all that Mr. Freeze stole these lines from
No,
Ice Cream
that's
Man.
false. That's
Did not
false.
happen. So I was disappointed.
Ice
in that.
Cream Man was the worst everywhere. Just assume that and go from there. Now, I just want to talk about the kill where he did the 2 scoops, Assassin's Creed. He used 2 scoopers to murder 2 cops.
That was the weakest kill in a horror movie I've ever seen.
Calling out Jan-Michael Vincents. Jan-Michael Vincents to get murdered by ice cream scoops for no reason. Yes, that's what happened. It was the worst. It was like if Assassin's Creed had hidden assassin's blades on 2 hands, but they were both scoops, and the cops were both basically like unintelligible garbage humans. And then you just put all that together and you just say, yeah, that scene happened. Then yes, that exists. But generally for normal humans, we would go, that's impossible. And
That's not true.
Yeah,
That's impossible.
And yet, here we are. It was like, say a slug person.
A slug person.
Say a slug person.
What happens in your brain?
A slug person came up with an action sequence where they thought like a slug person could be a human, and they did this, and that was the best I come up with.
2 brothers and their slug person, and they got a deep bond, man.
Yeah.
But you don't even want to know.
And then butterscotch happens.
What's tuna?
I don't know.
Slug person
And then
equals
they
tuna.
catch
who
a
has
tuna
pillow.
off the coast of Galveston, and then that thing says we should team up. And those 2 brothers and that tuna from Galveston get murdered by an ice cream man in some indescript city that's definitely not in Texas, which happens. And I don't know.
Oh my God.
I'm done. I can't. I'm stopping.
Are you done?
No,
No, you're
maybe.
not.
Poor tuna
Yes.
had a pillow under his shirt the entire movie. Very
Poor
obviously.
Poor tuna.
It was
The
not
guy's
his
name
fault.
was Tuna.
I just imagine him
Why?
getting to the set every day, and there's just some like
Every single person on set made fun of him for sure because
yeah.
in the movie
It's
they all
like
made fun of
Andy
him.
from the fucking Office. He called the guy Tuna. It was
He
ridiculous.
ultimately
No, he-
had a redeeming role.
You know he got there day
He drove
one.
the plot.
Well, you know he got there day one, and the costume lady's in there going, "Put this pillow on your t-shirt, hon. It's gonna be fine. No one will know. Just tuck in your pants."
Yeah, the classic pillow tuck pants. The classic move in the this was 95.
I don't know.
This guy had only done orgies, so his knowledge of kids movies was low.
I've not done
Nate,
orgies.
we'll never know the answer to this, but over under. I'm gonna set the line at 5. I'm gonna set the line at 6 of his movies. Other movies. How many of those pornos did someone have a pillow in their t-shirt?
Over 7.
You're going to take the over. You're going to take the over.
Right, do you want me to list this guy's movies?
No,
do you
please,
want
no more.
Do you
already
want
did.
this?
All right.
In them though, or just the director? I don't believe Tuna.
I am saying I will go just the director.
Paul Newman starring and directing.
Paul Norman.
It's Paul Norman.
I believe Tuna was innocent.
How do we know that this isn't Paul Newman, but he changed he changed his name just slightly so no one would question it?
But I feel bad for poor Paul. For Tuna. I don't feel bad for Paul Norman, but Paul. For poor Tuna, most of the movie for him as acting felt like watching someone play Grand Theft Auto, and I felt bad about it. So I wanted him to do well. I was envisioning pressing the buttons you'd have to press to sneak out of the grocery
hold
store.
L2 and then hold square, and this guy could not do it. In a movie.
It wasn't his fault. I wanted poor Tuna to do well. I wanted him to do very well. Yeah, it just felt like watching someone else play Grand Theft Auto. But I don't think it was Paul Norman's fault. It was.
God, are you kidding?
What if he's related to Paul Newman? You know how in Game of Thrones there's the Lannisters, and then there's another offshoot of them. What if the Normans are an offshoot of the Newmans? And he's this is a lesser house than mine.
All right, you know what?
Team Tuna.
You know what?
Team
Team Tuna.
I am doing this. I listed all the 1995 movies that happened with Paul Norman in the same year as this. But the previous year. So before Young and Anal 2.
So was Young and Anal 1, right?
Best of Leather and Lace, 1994. Controlled. Intercourse with the Vampire. Classic Interview with the Vampire spinoff from 1994. Intercourse with the Vampire 2, same year, listed before. I don't know how that's possible on this. Sex Mares. Sexmares. Sex Mares. Super Groupie. That one actually has a poster on IMDb. The other ones did not. Superstar Sex Challenge. Superstar Sex Challenge 2. Superstar Sex Challenge 3. The Cat Burglar. The Look. The Quest.
Wait. You mentioned one's called Locked in the Basement. It is actually Bitches in Heat Part 1.
Yeah,
Locked in the Basement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Timepiece. Wicked as she seems.
Ooh, he has the Game of Thrones precursor, Fire and Ice, Caught in the Act.
Exactly. I gotta
assume it's all. I have to assume it's all incestuous porn, right? It's all just Jamie and.
Sex.
All right. So before we move into and Sex Mayors, that's a good one.
Sex Mayors.
Yikes.
Your body is a wonderland.
Yikes, I really wish you hadn't said that. I would like to take this time just to remind our listeners, before you click that unsubscribe, make sure to check out some of our other episodes.
Any other one.
We're on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We're on Twitter at Takes by Massacre. We are on all your other podcast platforms. Think about this is if you hated this episode, because we are hammered, think about this. People you hate might like this. So tell your friends, and also tell your enemies.
Yeah,
Texas Podcast Massacre.
Waste a little over an hour of their life by making them listen to this.
Let's get to the next segment.
Well, yes, I really do want to know, what would you both have done differently?
Son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why? Why?
I don't even know where to begin. So we'll start with you, Nate. What are you doing differently?
You know what? Mine is a very, very small plot point in this movie. But the mom of Big Tuna, who is the main human? Are there aliens in this movie? I have no idea.
Well, you got on a tangent about some weird.
I I would say
more.
The best human child is Tuna.
Yeah.
In terms of acknowledging the murders and doing shit about it. Mm-hmm. His mom says, "Leave your shoes out on the porch." What? Fuck that. Never do that.
Yeah.
If you're going to leave your shoes, leave them inside on like some sort of rug in the entry area, because when he didn't do that, he left them outside. They're fucking full of ice cream and death threats. Ice cream and death threats, not a great shoe size. And this movie was actually sponsored by Converse. So this movie had a Converse sponsorship. Taylor is dying on the side, by the way. Taylor might be dead.
Nate.
She might be a dead person.
Are you trying to tell me that Ice Cream Man was sponsored by Converse?
Yes, 100%.
Yet you and I have not worked out any sponsorship deals for this podcast.
That is... Converse is... First of all, Converse is dropping the ball. Second of all, Converse is dropping 100 balls.
New Balance, we are ready for your sponsorship.
New Balance. We will New Balance out a lot of horror for you. If you need it. But yeah, like, leave your shoes outside like a fucking douchebag? Never. Never.
I agree. What I would do differently, I feel like I could stop this whole movie from happening, Nate. If I am the mom of the Ice Cream Man when he's the ice cream boy, and I am admitting him to a therapy place, maybe I'm going to check that hospital and make sure, do you have random clowns bouncing around in your therapy rooms? Are you injecting my son with some green sludge?
Yelp reviews back then.
Is Cam from Modern
Happy Days there, Mitch?
Is Cam from Modern Family injecting shit into my kid? That I'm not down with this.
Only on good days.
Only happy days.
Only on happy days.
What kind of day are you?
Thursday, Friday, happy days. The syringe goes. Green shit flows. Going into you. Doon, 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 doon. Ron Howard is this guy's brother. Are you fucking kidding me on this?
Maybe
happy days?
Maybe I would just try some cognitive behavioral therapy.
I love it.
This was not good. Taylor, what do you do differently?
So I feel like the Tuna's father's mistress.
The tuna.
Big Tuna.
I hesitate because I felt so weird to say Tuna, but like there's no other name to call him.
Everyone calls him Tuna.
Every single person calls him Tuna.
I'm changing again. We had Tuna and Big Kahuna. And Big Kahuna's mistress.
No, dude, you know that guy's name is Joffrey. Like that's his name. His name is Joffrey.
Tuna's father's mistress.
Yeah.
Knowingly seduced the Ice Cream Man.
Well, no,
she knowingly did. She posed like Vanna White by the front door.
It was
she knowingly seduced the Ice Cream Man.
No,
Nate, whatever you say, knowingly seduced the Ice Cream Man.
Semi-seduced.
You don't pose like Vanna White by the front door if you're not knowingly seducing the man you're
Vanna
inviting
White,
inside.
well-known tease.
I had to stop watching Wheel of Fortune for that reason. Get too hot and bothered.
She knowingly seduces the Ice Cream Man. She opens the door. She's like, "Oh, I'm surprised you're here." And then he presents her mister's head on an ice cream cone.
Is Mister the right term?
I don't know. Whoever she's sleeping with, the man she's sleeping with.
It's mistress.
She's a mistress. I feel like the right term's mister, but I don't know. The man she's sleeping with, his head is on an ice cream cone.
Sexist there. That's fine.
And I feel like if I was her, I would have never seduced the Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
I would have probably never seduced Tuna's dad either, but like I would have definitely
Ice Cream Men are trash people. That's what you're saying.
I would have never seduced Clint Howard in any form.
Don't seduce ice cream people. is what you're saying.
I don't know. No Clint Howard, no misters. I am my own independent woman. Would have not seduced the other men in this film. Let's leave it that way.
Kelly Clarkson, not a fan of this. Okay,
not a fan.
We got it.
All right, well, guys, listen. I got to ask, what are you gonna do for the sequel?
Because let's face it, baby. These days, you gotta have a sequel.
I think Taylor has the definitive,
Taylor, jump in.
Has the definitive sequel for this, and we'll start from there.
I'm a Houstonian at heart, and if you're not from Houston, I'm sorry if you don't
if you don't get it, but I would have done Ice Cream Man 2, Small Paul Wall Returns.
The Small Paul is a huge character. You think he's dead. He's not. He ends up befriending the Ice Cream Man partially, and then also leading him to his death.
Yes. And so Paul Wall is a very classic, prominent Houston rapper who I feel like should reprise the role of Small Paul in Ice Cream Man 2 and take up the ice cream scoop, if you will.
Paul Wall is in his grill, our inside ice cream truck.
If you will.
I enjoyed the rhyme.
Paul Wall,
that was
if
good.
you will.
You're a poet and you didn't even know when you were writing those words.
Slant rhyme, love it. I love it.
That's what I feel like, where I feel like this film should go.
And where does
this
the
franchise should go.
And where does the soundtrack come from? It's all Paul Wall.
It's all Paul Wall.
Yeah, Paul Wall does the soundtrack.
Chopped and served.
It's like Men in Black.
Title track
like
number 1.
Men in Black
There
with
you
Will
go.
Smith, but with Paul Wall.
I love it. I love it. I mean, Nate, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, Ice Cream Man there was a traumatic event with an Al Capone gunning down of someone, and then he was an inside person who only liked the Ice Cream Man because it was the only time he had to go outside, right? Ice Cream Men don't really exist anymore. Can we agree on this?
Yeah.
I saw one last night on my way to Halloween.
How many children did he mess up?
It was on I-45, so I don't know.
Wow.
But I was
could have been terrible.
terrified, shook to my core.
So I think like Ice Cream Men is like too old fashioned. Personally, I'm gonna go with the Ice Cream Stand. And who is a better? So in last month's Halloween episode, we mentioned Busta Rhymes was in Halloween Resurrection, and he didn't get his due in that. But imagine Busta Rhymes as an ice cream person. Imagine how much ice cream flow he could output to these kids. I'm going to freeze your neck. Like, that is the kind of level of stuff. I want Busta Rhymes giving ice cream to kids.
Let's go.
Put your cream where my eyes can see. That's what I want. I want that. I want Busta Rhymes giving people ice cream cones.
Okay.
That's what I want.
I like it.
And think about how fast his delivery is. He's so fast his delivery, those kids are going to get ice cream in record time. This movie, the ice cream guy was taking his sweet fucking time all the time. Kids are waiting in line forever. No, Busta Rhymes is not handling that shit. He is giving it out.
I like it. All right. I think for me, we've already talked about how great Big Tuna, Little Tuna, whatever Tuna, Little Tunichi was. That's Lil Wayne. That could be a good one. How Big Tuna becomes Lil Wayne.
A tuna.
Small Paul and Tuna are two different people. Do not.
I know, but I'm saying,
them.
what if yours is Small Paul and Lil Wayne? Lil Wayne as Tuna.
Lil Wayne is Tuna. I love
young Tuna.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Mr. Ice Cream Man. You know, like, it'll be great.
Firing off that firework at the policeman.
Phone home, Tuna. Phone home.
I love it. All right, but what if it's different? What if we saw some crazy escaping out of a very dangerous situation, thinking on his feet from Tuna? He was just a little hindered by his weight, and maybe he wasn't picking.
It was a pillow.
He wasn't. He wasn't
picking
picking the best hiding spots, like hiding underneath the vegetable like display, and riding in the underneath on the buggy
in the Rocky meat cooler.
I like to think
He
that
did pretty well.
I like to think that he
for his weight.
loses. I think that he loses the weight. He takes that experience, this harrowing experience.
Creed 2.
He becomes 007. I
What?
called it golden ice cream.
Yes.
I mean, he even has the gadgets. He has a rocket launcher on his fucking bicycle.
Mitch,
he shot a rocket from his bicycle. How is that not 007?
Lubellion. Come on.
I like it.
Come on.
I like it. He is
great.
definitely MI6 material for sure.
So I'm the biggest James Bond fan of all time, and I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm okay with this.
All right. Well, that's going to bring us to our final segment.
Final cut.
Taylor, as our unsuspecting victim, you get first crack at the final cut. Out of 10, what are you giving this one?
I'd say 8 of 10 eyeball scoops.
Oh my God!
So I
8 out of 10? That is insanity.
I love a bad film. It was very bad.
8 out of 10.
But I never knew. I would say I knew a lot of what was happening next, but there were things that always surprised me. And I laughed throughout the majority of the film, which is...
That's true.
But
yeah.
I'm an unsuspecting victim, so I don't like to be super scared. So I enjoyed this movie. That's my take.
8 out of 10, Mitch. What are you doing with that? 8 out of 10. Holy shit.
I loved it.
Bring
I had
us
a
down.
great time.
Bring it down.
I am not that far away, but I'm also not that close either. This movie is very enjoyable. You will like it. It is a bad movie. It is a horrible movie, but
it's watchable.
It's watchable.
Yeah.
In our situation, again, I would watch it the way we did. We had our friends over. We were drinking. We
the largest
watched the movie.
pizza in the history of humanity. Apparently,
You're welcome.
Who knows how that happened?
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a perfect movie for that.
Yeah.
I give this 6 out of 10 frozen glasses in the ice. In the ice.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. All right, Nate. Debbie Downer.
I'm bringing this shit down. So this movie was enjoyable. It's hard to say it was good. I mean, this guy was cry anal sex to.
Yeah, and sorry, let me sorry, before you get too deep. Remember, I am also the horror fan that likes grindhouse, over the top schlocky shit. So if you like that kind of stuff, this is also down your alley.
I like that as well, but this director didn't know the fuck they were doing. Like, is like no one penetrating someone anally? Like, where'd I put the camera? Like, that was the level that this person had no clue what was happening. I would say the puns came too late.
Was your point that if he's not seeing someone get penetrated anally, he doesn't know what to do?
Yeah, if it was porn, it would have been
you
better.
had a weird pause there. Taylor and I both are like,
this is the only movie this guy ever did other than porn.
I was very glad this movie was not porn, which I'm not clear on where Nate stands on this, but that was my guess.
These killing had boobs in like 6 seconds.
Don't cap on our future episodes here. But no, like I think the direction was garbage. The puns only happened in the last third of the movie. It's fucking Ice Cream Man. Throw the puns out. Are you kidding me?
Paul Newman had to
Norman. God damn it. There's no ranch dressing in this.
I loved that it wasn't predictable. I thought the puns were coming fast and furious.
They were not, though.
Too fast, too furious.
They were less fast, less furious.
The puns were very...
That's the problem.
It wasn't even puns. The dialogue was very much reminiscent of The Room, only not as iconic, but it was amusing. Like, that's what I liked about it. It was very unpredictable.
The thing is, like, if you've seen Jack Frost or any of those movies, Jack Frost is not a good movie, but the puns are consistent throughout. This movie did not have that at all.
So what's your rating?
And I hated it. Because, look, if you're going to do a movie that is Ice Cream Man with Clint Howard as a murderous ice cream man, you lean into it. It was so serious for the first 2/3, right? Can we agree on this?
Yeah.
It was very serious.
I actually liked that it was self-serious.
No.
I liked
you
it. You gotta
lean into the garbage.
I agree.
That's the problem.
I do agree with that, but I also like that it was serious.
Wait, how can you, who likes Troll 2, say that when they totally took
future
themselves
episode Troll
serious?
2 is amazing with that. But this movie, it tried to thread a fine line, and I thought it was trash the whole time.
All right.
There was zero plot in this film.
I am going to go 2 out of 10 scoops. I'm going 2. 2 scoops because he assassinated 2 cops with scoops. And I don't care if the Price is Right thing says it was garbage. This movie was trash. And I picked it, so I would know.
Yeah. Well, Nate, it can't all be Superstar Sex Challenge, Super Groupie, or Sex Bears, but I suppose
those are all movies by this guy. All of them. This guy is trash. How did he get an A from someone?
Nate,
that's ridiculous.
Nate, do we add intercourse with the vampire in our schedule? All right.
We already saw Clean the Damned. We're okay. We're fine.
We're going to finish this up. Before we go, we are going to end it the way we began with one final shot. Everybody! Nate, tell them where they can find us.
Oh, God. Hold on. So on Twitter, TX Podcast Massacre. Tweet us there. If you want to contact us at TexasPodcastMassacre@gmail.com. All of our episodes are on TexasPodcastMassacre.com, our website. You can leave comments there. You can leave them on Instagram or Facebook, where we have our own pages. And you can find us on all your podcast platforms. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and all the rest. Spotify, everywhere else.
Thank you so much for all your reviews. We love seeing them. We will start adding them in as kind of a mailbag.
Yeah. And think about this. If you want us to do a movie drunk, it's possible.
Yeah.
Because we're doing this one right now, and it is a trash movie. Any movie you recommend by Twitter or email or anywhere else, we'll try to get in the podcast.
That's right. We typically have a schedule that we work about. We're usually about a month or two that we worked out the schedules, but we will usually make adjustments if you have a suggestion. We do this podcast because we love horror movies. We are always down to watch what you want us to watch, honestly. So send in your recommendations. And thank you so much for listening. Taylor, thanks for joining us for this episode.
Yeah. Thumbs up emoji because she is dead.
Yeah. From all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in. And just keep telling yourself, it's only a movie. Good night.